Hi everyone, this is a video for CCNY ear training week 3. This week we're looking at a couple of tunes, Can't Buy Me Love by the Beatles and One Toke Over the Line by Brewer and Shipley. I'm sure you're more familiar with one of those bands than the other. But in both melodies, they're excerpts. We're not looking at the whole melody, the whole tune. And excerpts of both of these melodies, one is in minor, the Can't Buy Me Love's in C minor, and One Toke Over the Line in C major. Both are dealing with pretty basic functional harmony, outlining more or less tonic triads and tonic harmony, and a few flurries into non-tonic harmony. And on your assignment sheet, you'll see that I've included a reduction of each melody and the original melody, okay? You've been assigned one of those. You're either going to sing the reduction or the original and see the Blackboard for which one. The reduction, I made these reductions by removing a lot of the syncopation. It's mostly rhythmic stuff that's changed in the reduction, and a few of the more extraneous pitches, a couple passing tones, things like that. But the basic structure of the melody is still very much there. Okay? If we look at Can't Buy Me Love, if we're just going to look at each of these melodies, and not a whole lot to explain or touch on, but we'll point out a couple things. So looking at the reduction to Can't Buy Me Love, so again, we're in C minor. That's 5. You will start on 5, right? 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, etc. Already given you 2 measures. And you can do this much slower than that. You can do this basically as slow as you want. Totally cool with that, as long as the pitch and rhythm is there. So you'll start on 5, you're ending on 1. Basic stuff going on there. For the original, really take note of a couple things. Number 1, you're starting with measure 5. So where these red parentheses are, you're going from there to the end of the first ending. So from measure 5 to measure 12, there's some syncopation, right? 5, 5, 4, or sorry, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Right there, syncopation off the bat in those 2 measures. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Right? And that's slower, much slower than the original. You can do it slower than that. But there is some good syncopation throughout this excerpt. Okay. Now, let's look at One Toke Over the Line. This is going to take some explanation, mainly because I've reduced the harmony part. Take a look at the original first, all right? Even if you're doing the reduction, look at how these dyads are happening. There's a C and an E, then a C and a G, C and a G, etc. It's 2 voices that are moving in this melody. So what I've done for the reduction, folks, I've taken the bottom voice, right? You see C, C, bunch of C's and G's, really, and put that as melody 1 for 8 measures. And then I've taken the top voice and put that as melody 2. And so you'll sing both of those. Obviously, you can't sing those at the same time, or else you would be touring the world with Bobby McFerrin or something like that. But sing these, if you're doing the reduction, you'll sing these one after the other. You know, you can sing either one first. I don't really care, as long as you sing them, both of them. And again, the reduction removes a lot of the syncopation, and that's really about it. in the bottom voice, which is melody 1, right? So we're in C major. 1. I probably need to go up an octave. 1. Okay, so if that's 1, man, it's hard not to have the Beatles still in my head, right? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, 5. That's how the first two measures start in melody 1. Then it goes down to 4, etc. You can take it much slower, again. Now, I had to bring that up an octave because when it gets down to 4 and 3 in melody 1, if I would have started at 1, it would have been too low. So that's okay. Even though melody 1 is the bottom voice, since you're not harmonizing, you can bring it up an octave. And remember, too, you can put this in whatever key is comfortable also. In melody 2, which is the top voice, you're starting on E, so that's 3. 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1. So that's the beginning of melody 2. This one's trickier than the Beatles one, particularly, I think, because of the last, really just one measure, which is measure 6 in melody 2. Actually, in both 1 and 2. If you look at melody 1, we have 1 going to 6, going to 4 to 5. Okay? What triad is being outlined here? That's right, it's a 4 chord. We have C down to A down to F. So a little tricky. We haven't spent much time yet on outlining triads that aren't tonic triads. So practice that. The best thing to do when you're practicing this is to take little chunks. So I would start right here in measure 5. And instead of tackling the rhythm right away, is to try and just get the pitches down and make like a little exercise out of it. So if it's 1, right there in measure 5, 1, 7, 1, 6, 4, 5. 1, 7, 1, 6, 4, 5. 1, 7, 1, 6, 4, 5. Right? That's right in that section. Measures 5, 6, and 7. Then you can add rhythm slowly. 1, 1, 7, 7, 7, 1, 1, 6, 6, 4, 5. 5, 5, 5. Right, and the rest. Great. That's how I would approach it there in melody 1, and then also the same spot in melody 2, we go from 6, 3, 1. That one's going to be easier, and you'll see why. We don't have to explain all of that. But 6, 3, 1, 3, 1 should be no problem. 6, 1. So I think the trickiest part, although most of melody 1 is pretty easy for you, I suspect, that section from measure 5 through 7 is tricky. So take your time with it, practice it, and you'll do great. For those of you doing the original, the syncopation is a little hard. It's mostly those notes over the bar line. Get it? Over the line. Nice. That are the syncopated parts. A few other where they land on beat 2 to watch out for. Now, for those of you doing the original, you're going to do one voice at a time. And I don't care which one you do first. Doesn't matter at all. But you'll do either the bottom voice in this 2-part harmony first, and then the top voice, or the top voice and then the bottom voice. If it's not clear, These ties that you see here in measure 2 on the G, and then in measure, what would that be? Measure 6 with the same G. That's a tie. You're supposed to hold that pitch out. They just give that tie because it's easier to write, since the top voice is moving and the bottom voice is what we call oblique. When one voice moves against another voice not moving, that's called oblique motion. It's a little fun term for you. But all it means is that G is a quarter note when you're singing the bottom voice. Same things to look out for in terms of pitch that those of you do that one would worry about in the reduction. Okay, those tricky moments where you're outlining the 4 chord and jumping around like that apply here. So the main difference, as in most of these assignments, you'll see between those of you doing the reduction and those of you doing the original is in rhythm. The syncopation is much trickier in the original, and you'll see there's a few pitches that I didn't include in the reduction that you'll see in the original, like here in measure 4 and elsewhere. Okay, so I think that's all we have to discuss. I will, by the time you are watching this, you'll certainly have, I'll certainly have uploaded the assignment explanation on Blackboard. And as always, let me know if you have any questions or concerns, if I messed something up on this sheet or anything isn't clear, and I will address them. Okay, take care, everyone.